We lie to ourselves. We don't tell ourselves the way things really are. And when we do that, then we can't fix our problems. If we can't fix our problems, we're not going to improve. So we have to be truthful to ourselves. I have to be truthful to myself. You have to be truthful to yourself. You have to stop rationalizing, stop making excuses, stop telling yourself little watered down assessments of where you're really at. Tell yourself the truth so that you can get where you want to go. You can be who you want to be. You can be who you should be. Who you should be when you do what you know you should do.
The winners of the world, the people who consistently win, the people who consistently go forward and seem to, have the Midas touch when it comes to their own journey and their own success, these people understand very clearly how opportunities are created. They are not given. Whatever it is that you do, the key to becoming great and getting opportunities is going to be to use the situation that you are currently in to the best of your ability to build skills.
You will never execute the idea if you don't impress it upon the subconscious mind. There is this imaginary terror barrier, and you hit it and you bounce off it, and it's very real. You could get sick to your stomach. Worry, fear, and anxiety strike just like lightning, and you bounce off that terror barrier. Well, I may not have much on this job, but at least I know what I'm getting. Did you ever hear when your kid's better to be safe than sorry? That isn't true. That's not true at all. That's a lie. But people believe it. Are we going to let the terror barrier stop us? Faith based on understanding is the key to freedom. I love the way Joseph Campbell put it. He said, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.
Why are most people living a life of average, of mediocrity, of just pathetic, boring lives? I'm going to tell you, it's because they compromise. They continuously compromise on their goals and dreams. You begin to compromise the goals and dreams that you have. You begin to negotiate them away, and I often wonder to myself why you would do this. You only get one run at life, There is no second run. There is no trial run. If you think this is a trial run, my second time around, I'm really gonna go all in, you're not. You're not. This is it. And so if you are here and you've got goals and dreams, why would you ever compromise?
When you implement discipline, true and unflinching and unmitigated discipline in your life, when you stop trying to find a sweatless solution, when you look for weaknesses to work on, when you allow no easy excuses. And all that starts when you stop lying to yourself. When you stop lying to yourself, that's when you can become who you know you should be. When you tell yourself the truth about where you are so you can make sure you are in the right place. And if you're not in the right place, then you can get yourself on the path to get there. The path of discipline, the path of hard work, and the path of truth.
It's possible for you to live your dream. It's necessary that you associate with winners, that you work your system, that you are relentless, that you never give up. It's you. You've got to take personal responsibility. You've got to make it your personal business to make it happen. And you've got to resolve within yourself that I can do this, that it's hard, but you've got to say, I'm the one. But you know it's going to be hard, but find out what will make it worth it for you.
How we make decisions. And the fact that we make decisions not based on what we know we need to do, not based on our goals, but based on how we feel right now. It's your feelings that make the decision for you. When you're an adult, you have to parent yourself. Here's the rub. you're never, ever, ever, ever going to feel like doing the things you need to do in order to have what you want.
The second you leave your house, and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that, you are now letting in poison in cancer. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor so when I come out in the world, now look at that phone, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late, I'm not rushing around, I'm not disorganized, because I know I'm gonna get hit in the mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the mouth. That is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief.
Everybody's focused on what won't work, what can't happen. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to try and feel like they're not enough. So you got to stand guard of that mind by feeding your mind. If you want things to get better, you got to get better. If you want things to change, you got to change. But you got to do it deliberately and consciously.
Who the says you have to be realistic like everybody else? Mediocre people don't want anything other than realistic. I am unrealistic in my expectations. I am relentless in the pursuit of my life's goals. I am rigid and I never compromise. And I'm asking you to do the same, because the worst thing you could have on your deathbed is regret.
And this life it's better than any movie there is. Movies are supposed to provoke emotion. They're supposed to make you feel something. But I have a better idea. Go out into the world and actually feel it. Take both sides. Feel all that. That's what life is. Those feelings, those emotions, those highs and those lows. Those are life.
The alarm goes off. You have a choice. I can either sit there and continue to dream, or I can get up and chase down those dreams. Those of us who are willing to chase down your dreams know to put your feet on the floor and get going. That the longer I stay there in the comfort of my bed, I will let days go by that I cannot reclaim. While I'm full of strength, while I'm full of goals and aspirations, while I have the will to do it, if I slack off now, I'll lack off later. I will lack of everything that I wanted, of everything I dreamed of. You see, most people don't realize that your greatest success will come right behind your greatest failures. You will lay there and wallow and be discouraged and be depressed, and it's natural to be down. You will go through ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster, but you're not on a roller coaster. You're on a path.
It's really heavy when you start to look at your life, your health, family, your relationships, and you look at all those things that are messed up in all those areas. And when you say all those things, all those problems in my business, my life, my health, all those things are my fault, that's really a heavy weight to bear. But it's also extremely liberating, because if it's all your fault, you're the one that can fix it.
Anytime you're feeling upset of any sort is the result of the meaning you associate to an expectation.
They're not afraid about tomorrow because of how they see themselves, because of what they feel that they deserve, because of what they feel that they can create for themselves. Because these people have decided, as they look at the future, as they look at themselves, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way for me to begin to create a way out of no way. And when you have that kind of consciousness, when you have that kind of spirit, nothing can stop you.
There are those of you in this room, you're average, you have no business being average, but now you, look, I'm not even upset that you're average, but now you justify it. Like you've come up with these great reasons of why you can't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. that you built for it. You still here. Despite everything that you went through, everything that you're going through, and everything you're gonna go through, you are still here. You are built for it. That struggle that's coming against you, you are built for it. Those people that turn your back on you, you are built for it. That person that walked out of your life, you are built for it. That job that's not appreciating you, you are built for it. The grind that you're going on trying to start your business, being an entrepreneur, and it's tough, you are built for it. And I want every one of you to know that, man. You got a strength inside of you that's greater than anything that comes against you, and you got to truly believe that. We got to stop running. We got to stop hiding. We got to stop folding when times get hard.
Of course, I get worn down. Of course, I get frustrated with stuff. Of course, things don't always go my way. But what do I do when those things happen? I keep going. Because worn down isn't beaten. And frustration is not gonna kill me. And the things that don't go my way, they just turn into targets that I'm going to attack harder. And when I do come up short, it's okay, because I just learned one more thing that's going to get me over the top.
Get there if you don't give up. This is why we have to have an idea or plan or purpose. And once it is placed in your mind, you've got to put that thing in repetitious mode and be like, I got to do reps to get there. I've got to remind myself daily. I've got to lift daily. I've got to run another mile. I got to believe when no one else believes in me. I got to get up and go. And once I get my get up and go, everything that I wanted comes closer.
You are built for it. Yes, sometimes seasons aren't favorable. But don't you ever forget this truth. You are highly favored.
The step you take towards your aspirations is how you arrive to the destination called success. You will arrive there, and then you'll look at it and say, if I knew it would be this easy, I would have started long ago.
What would your life be like as you look toward the future if you decided, I'm not going to allow my fears to stop me? What would your life be like? What would your future be like if you decided to want that which you desire so strongly that it prepares you past your fears, that you experience the fear, as the one book says, feel the fear and do it anyway? What would your life be like? And I'm saying to you that all of us who have been entombed by fear have the capacity to resurrect ourselves.
The truth is, if you start chasing down your goals, it will come to you. And then you'll realize, what those of us who have made those positive steps have, I should have dreamed bigger.
Can't nothing stop you except the things you give permission to.
Don't be relaxed, get up and go again. Take a deep breath, catch that second wind. It is not about stopping at age 50, it's not stopping at 20, it's not stopping because it's your last senior game. You don't graduate from life. You elevate in life. If I'm done here at this level, then let me test myself in the pros. You see, you have to believe that the next level is available for you. If it ends athletically, take that competitive spirit into your business. You put that into your relationship. You put that into everything that you desire to be and everything you want, and it will come. That's why you wake up, that's why you chase down goals, and that's why you become legendary.
Everything that's happening to you is God is processing. Every difficult moment you're having, He just processing. That's all He's doing. Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. And if you need to be tough when you get to where you're going, then He gonna toughen you. If you gotta be more caring along the way, He gonna let you have some trials come your way that's gonna have to produce that in you.
How do I deal with setbacks, failures, delays, defeats, or other disasters? I actually have a fairly simple way of dealing with these situations, summed up in one word: good. That when things are going bad, there's going to be some good that will come from it. Didn't get the job you wanted? Good. Go out, gain more experience, build a better resume. Got injured? Good. Needed a break from training. Got beat? Good. We learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have an opportunity to figure out a solution.
Most people in life quit before the candy comes out. They quit before the candy comes out of their business, their body, their relationships, not knowing they're much closer to the dream than they think they are, but the progress is invisible. You gotta keep hitting that piñata in your life. Keep taking swings, one more swing, one more swing, one more swing, knowing you're making invisible progress. Remember when I said you're neglecting your kids? When you're not chasing your dreams and your potential? You're actually neglecting you. You're neglecting your spirit. You're neglecting your soul. You're neglecting the very reason you were born. Nothing makes me more proud than to see someone chasing their potential, chasing that happiness, chasing that bliss. I don't care if the candies come out yet. I care that you swing.
When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out, don't get startled, don't get frustrated. No. Just look at the issue and say, good.
When you raise your hand and say, this is my income, this is my dream, this is my goal. When you raise your hand and say, this is it, don't you understand that you need to operate at least 110 to make that become a reality? You can't get to that dream on 70. You can't get to that dream on 60. You can't get to that dream waking up at 6 or 7 o'clock.
Because the truth is, y'all, like, I don't care how great life is for you. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how popular you are. I don't care what kind of job you have. You know, I don't care what race you are. The thing that brings us all together is not always success, right? It's not success. It's struggle. Like, I don't care who you are. If you're going through this human experience, you're going to experience struggle. You're gonna experience hard times. You're gonna experience setback. You're gonna experience loss. You're gonna experience depression. Just as well as we have our ups, we're gonna have our downs. And so when I'm going through these moments, I love to disconnect. And I disconnect from the world because some of us, we're so connected to everything that we haven't connected to our soul. We haven't connected to our peace because we're so connected to requests. We're so connected to comparing our life. We're so connected to all these outside things that we ignore our internal soul.
If you constantly remind yourself after every defeat, after every setback, every time you get knocked down, I've got a saying, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. See, a lot of people, because of failure, they stop believing. Let me share something with you. You will fail your way to success. Yes. You will fail your way to success. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times people tell you that you can't do it. It doesn't matter if you don't have a dime in the bank. You will fail your way to success.
It's so often the easy path. The easy path that calls to us to be weak for that moment, to break down for that moment. Accept reality, but focus on the solution. Take that issue, take that setback, take that problem and turn it into something good. Go forward. Finally, if you can say the word good, then guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, that means you've still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
And there are going to be plenty of times in your life when you're not happy. There might be years. And so it's a shallow boat in a very rough ocean. And it's based upon a misconceptualization. Happiness is something that descends upon you. Everyone knows that. You know, it comes upon you suddenly. And then you should be grateful for it, because there's plenty of suffering, and if you happen to be happy, well, wonderful. Enjoy it. Be grateful for it.
That you will fail your way to greatness. That most people allow their fear of failure, 80% allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. When you're willing to fail again and again and again, when you make up your mind to become unstoppable, when you make up your mind to become a no matter what person, then that will then give birth to a part of yourself that you don't know right now.
It's time. I mean, it's absolutely time. It's your time, and it's your turn. You see, you've waited and sat behind people. You've had examples. Your mother and father, they were examples. They did it, and you can do it. You didn't just inherit a last name. You inherited an example of what you can be and what you can do. And if you didn't have them in your life, then that's still a challenge for you to overcome. And if you've been given that challenge, you have the shoulders wide enough, strong enough to handle it, because God will never put more on you than what you can handle, what you can bear. You are more than what you appear to be.
So another year has come and gone, and a lot of us are in this fucking place we were last year. What the fuck are you waiting on? We sleep 1/3 of our fucking lives, and we think we can take fucking days off. We think we have the right to sit back and give ourselves fucking options on which way we're gonna go in life. Am I gonna run today? Am I gonna work out today? Well, it's Christmas. It's New Year's. It's my birthday. Do you think time gives a that it's Christmas, that it's New Year's, that it's your birthday? You give yourself two fucking options. Let me tell you one thing, time is running out. You keep on sitting around wondering what the fuck you want to do, you're just gonna run out of time. So make sure you do one thing, stop following the fucking crowd. They may take time off, but you can't afford to.
Ask yourself this question before any action or any inaction. Ask yourself this question. What I am doing, what I am about to do, is it going to help me get where I am going? Is this action going to make me stronger or weaker? Is this action going to make me smarter or more skilled? Will this action move me toward the strategic long-term goals I am trying to achieve in my life. And do not lie to yourself.
Your stature cannot define you. You're not about 5'6", 6'4". You are more than that. You can perform bigger than that. It's all about what's within you. You have to realize that you cannot wait. The time is never going to be right. Here's the thing about opportunity. It disguises itself behind trials. You must go through it in order to become someone.
Now I understand it's hard, and I understand it's difficult, and I understand that it's fucking lonely. But here's also what I understand, that it's fucking worth it. Because there's not a better thing in the fucking world than going out, doing everything that everybody said you couldn't do, shouldn't do, wouldn't do. It's worth it. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. They've never built anything. They've never been around winning. They've never won anything. These people are on a different path, and you cannot allow people that are on a different path than you to talk you out of going down the path that you are on, because the path that you are on is going to be a path that inspires people to be fucking great. People are going to see you win. They're going to see you struggle. They're going to see you build. They're going to see you overcome. And then they are going to say, holy shit, I can do that too, maybe.
But what happens is that we get in this world where it gets hard. And so the harder it is, the more you start to push back.
Don't wait. The time will never be perfect. But if you start where you stand, if you're willing to work with whatever tools you find in your hand, if you can take command of those, you can do more than what anyone could ever understand.
This is about living your fucking purpose. Your story is needed. Your story is important. Your story is it's a necessity of the fabric of this entire fucking country. Because without the story of your wins, there will be less people that win. And there will be more people that become mediocre. And this is an obligation that you have.
Don't rationalize. Don't negotiate. You have to tell yourself the truth.
You see, the very thing that's supposed to be your demise can be the thing that gives you your elevation. It's at that moment of elevation that you don't sit there and you celebrate, look, I made it. No, you realize that the reward was the journey. It's what it cost you to get here, because if someone had simply gave it to you, it wouldn't have any value. But because you know it costs a great deal for you to be you, that's why you can't allow people to just walk into your frame, into your life, and not understand the value and the reason why they must show that respect to you, because it costs you. Greatness is in you. There is no way that you can let life pass and end up wondering why you ran out of time.
Make it a resolution of discipline to get better, smarter, faster, stronger, healthier, more productive, less agitated, to eat cleaner, live more, to go and do. Do all those things. But don't do them on New Year's Eve. Don't do them on New Year's Day. Do them now. That resolution of discipline to work and follow through and maintain your will, that'll result in the freedom that you're looking for. Yes, you heard it once again. Discipline equals freedom.
lesson learner. Every time you've been defeated, it was because you quit. Keep fighting. Victory is inside.
There is no way out. No one gets out alive. Death is part of life, like the contrast between the darkness and the light. Without death, there is no life. And the people that I have lost, they taught me that. They taught me how precious life is, how blessed we are to have every day. To learn, to grow, to laugh, to live, to live. To live every day with purpose and passion. To wake up in the morning and be thankful. Thankful for that morning. Thankful for that opportunity to go into the world and live.
You can do what you put your mind to. And if you continue to put your mind to it, the game opens up new levels. In each new level that gets opened up, you're able to adapt a different mindset and a different approach. You can stop at that level, or you can go, I want more levels. I want more fucking levels.
There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to. So don't be afraid when they fall off. They're not bad people. They just couldn't go where you're going.
A lot of people are just showing up in life. A lot of people just get up in the morning and they go through the day, they go to the job just to pull a check down and watching the clock coming in. So you want to be a different kind of person as you forward your life. You want to get something out of this. If you're going to do it, it's worth your time, your energy. You've got some expectations from this. I do not let people waste my time.
Say this, the most driven individuals, they live a life for many years and certain times without balance. Everybody strives for balance, balance, balance. So if you say something that was missing, but it was actually a gift, was his lack of balance. You can't be the best at something and try to balance everything else around your life. There is going to be times where things are going to be out of balance.
If you configure your life so that what you are genuinely doing is aiming at the highest possible good, then the things that you need to survive and to thrive on a day-to-day basis will deliver themselves to you. If you dare to do the most difficult thing that you can conceptualize, your life will work out better than it will if you do anything else. There's no better pathway to self-realization and the ennoblement of being than to posit the highest good that you can conceive of and commit yourself to it. And then you might also ask yourself, and this is definitely worth asking, is do you really have anything better to do? And if you don't, well, why would you do anything else? If everything that you're doing every day is related to the highest possible aim that you can conceptualize, well, that's the very definition of the meaning that would sustain you in your life. Well, all hell's about to break loose and chaos is coming. It's like when that's happening in your life, you might want to be doing something that you regard as truly worthwhile. Because that's what will keep you afloat when everything is flooded. And you don't want to wait until the flood comes to start doing that, because if your ark's half built and you don't know how to captain it, the probability is very high that you'll drown.
Known hells are preferable to strange heavens because it's familiar. See, life is rough, ladies and gentlemen. It's rough, and it's scary. It's scary growing. It's scary taking a chance. It's scary acting on your intuition, on your guts. It's scary. It's frightening. And they're immobilized by fear.
We are taken apart slowly, convinced to take an easier path, enticed by comfort. Most of us aren't defeated in one decisive battle. We are defeated one tiny, seemingly insignificant surrender at a time that chips away at who we should really be. It isn't that you wake up one day and decide, that's it, I'm going to be weak. No. It is a slow, incremental process. It chips away at our will. It chips away at our discipline. We sleep in a little later. We miss a workout, then another. And without realizing it, one day you wake up and you've become something that you never would have allowed. Instead of strong, you are weak. You have to be on guard. You have to hold the line on the seemingly insignificant little things. Things that shouldn't matter, but things that do.
What you gotta do to get the life that God wants you to have, you gotta put more air in your bubble. You got to blow your bubble up. Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure.
Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless. Victims are people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You are powerful. You direct the power in your life. Whatever your life is right now, it is a duplication of your consciousness.
If you could have what you needed and wanted, what would that be? And that's a meditative question. You don't want to force an answer out of yourself. You want to ask yourself that like you would ask someone else. If I could have what I wanted, what would that look like? If I could have the relationship that I needed and wanted, if I could have the friendships, if I could have the job or career, if I could have the educational pathway, if I took care of myself properly, if I regulated my susceptibility to temptations, what would that look like if it was optimized? And then that sets you up a goal that has some motivational force. This is worth doing. The next goal is to take your goal and to fragment it into micro goals until you find a micro goal that's small enough that it still presents some challenge that you will do.
Most people overestimate what they're going to do in a year, and they underestimate they'll do in a decade. And I know a decade sounds like a long time, but how many can remember where you were a decade ago and realize the time has gone like this? And our whole world's accelerating. So a decade will go down before you even know it. The question is, what are you going to do with it? And you want to make sure when you arrive at the end of that decade, you're a different universe than when you started. So in the short term, it may go up and down, but the long term, it's explosive.
So as you begin to look toward making this your decade, as you begin to look toward making your life different, as you begin to look at yourself, you've got to redefine yourself. Who are you right now? And who must you become in order to create what you want? What has to change about you? As you begin to look toward the future and take inventory of yourself, what is it about you right now that you've got to leave this behind because this no longer fits? Looking at where you want to go and the kind of person that you must become, the kind of standards that you have for you. What is it that you must do differently?
No matter what's going on in your life, is not permanent. Everything is going to change. So there's two things you can do with change. You can react to it or you can participate in it.
I want to tell you something else, and I want to make this clear. Don't just listen. Don't just listen. Do. I'm not just talking. So you know, I'm not just talking. I'm doing. And I don't want you to just listen. Put this information to work. Make today count. Every day. Go forward. Get aggressive and attack, whether it's on the battlefield or on the beat or in the factory or on the farm or on the construction site or on the website, in the garage or in the firehouse. Don't hesitate.
We all get what we tolerate in ourselves and other people. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes. The difference in people is their standards, period.
Commit means to make it happen no matter what. See, when you make a commitment, I'm going to become wealthy. When you make it important, when you decide I'm going to do it no matter what, life changes for you. See, most people don't keep their commitments to their commitments. That's why they lead lives of poverty, lives of misery, lives of unhappiness.
No matter what you face, no matter how bad it is going to be, when there is a challenge, anything that you're facing, the only way to overcome the challenges that you face is to start walking.
I am one decision away from a totally different marriage, a totally different life, a totally different job, a totally different income. Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything.
Oh, you ask yourself a question. If I could have what I needed and wanted, what would that look like? You'll get a dream, you'll get a vision, and it comes to you. That's the most accurate way of describing it. It makes itself manifest in the theater of your imagination. It's a rather frightening question to find out, to allow yourself to ask yourself what it is that you really need and want.
This is not about abstaining from life. Ooh, it's the opposite. It's about going all in and really engaging and really living and really experiencing and tasting and smelling and eating and loving and we're here for that. We're here for all of that. So you create the experience, and then when it gets predictable or it gets boring, let's change it up. Let's create another one. And then how far can you go with that? It just goes on.
A lot of folk won't let you forget what you used to do or what you have done, what mistakes you've made. All of us have made some mistakes in life. All of us have done some things that if we had them to do over again, we wouldn't do it again. There are a lot of things that if I had it to do over again, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done it differently. Well, it didn't happen that way. Oh, you don't want me to live that down, huh? You want to keep on putting that in my face about what I did. Guess what? I'm not interested. That's what I did then. Won't do it today.
Who am I? What have I learned? What have I created? What forward progress have I made? Who have I helped? What am I doing to improve myself today to get better, faster, stronger, healthier, smarter? Is this what I want to be? This? Is this all I've got? Is this everything I can give? Is this going to be my life?
Every night when we go to sleep, right before bed, most of us set our alarm for the next morning. In other words, we're making a promise to ourselves that I'm going to wake up at a certain time. I don't hit the snooze button. I believe that one action helps me build a greater amount of confidence and reputation with myself, because immediately I kept the promise to myself, and now I stacked a W, a win instead of an L.
He said, I want what all other men want. He said, I guarantee you, when I line up and they line up, I want what all other men want. You want what all other men want. The same way you want the victory, they want the victory. I want what all other men want. He said, but when the pressure hits, when the opposition hits, when the challenge hits, when the pain creeps in, when the uncertainty creeps in, when the cuts, when the scars, when the bruises come, I want what all other men want. He said, but when the opposition and adversity shows up, I just want it a little bit more than they want it. And so that's how I conquer, and that's how nobody has ever beaten me yet.
Five easy steps, 10 steps to greatness, 8 steps to this. And those steps for success, they're infinite. They are infinite. You cannot count them. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Those steps are constantly shifting. You don't know if they're there. Sometimes you have to trust that the next step is going to be there when you can't even see it. And sometimes when you step on that step, you go right into quicksand. But you got to be able to pull yourself back out of it again. So everybody's looking for these steps, and there are no steps. Those steps never end. And you just can't climb steps.
Once you stop giving it, once you stop showing up for them, once you decide not to be used no more, once you decide to choose you, you're gonna see how they really feel about you. You're gonna see who really loves you for you, because most people, once you choose you, their love disappears. Some of you at a job that only loves you for what you bring to the job. As soon as you ask for a raise, as soon as you ask for a day off, you're replaced. And the thing that I want to tell you, this is so many of us, we hide our true selves for the world because we're so afraid to be judged. We're so afraid that people will walk out of their life. We're so afraid to lose this and lose that. I'm going to tell you something. I want you to hear me clear. When you don't be who you are, when you don't truly be yourself and who you are, you know what happens in your life? You attract the wrong things in your life.
To motivate actually means to provide a motive, a reason why. So to motivate someone is to explain to them why they're doing what they're doing, how it will help them, where it'll take them, why they should continue to work and to struggle and to fight. And when you need motivation yourself, don't look for someone to scream and yell. Don't look for someone else to give you motivation. Look at yourself. Look at yourself and remind yourself why you are doing what you are doing.
I'm here to challenge you. If you have this take it easy mentality, can you consider being a little harder on yourself? Can you stop letting yourself off the hook? I know it's easy to let yourself off the hook, to make an excuse. Your winning routine has a pattern. Each time you repeat that pattern, it becomes a discipline. And if you break that discipline, you're more likely to lose. So I'm asking you, what if you tossed and turned all night, but you still got up anyway? What if you didn't sleep well, but you still got up anyway? What if you were harder on yourself? What if you set higher expectations for yourself? What if you raised the standards for yourself? And then what if you could stop surrounding yourself with people who subscribe to the take it easy mentality?
Mano a mano. And if you ain't got more heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm gonna destroy you. And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. I don't care if you say we outnumbered. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. Every man must search his own soul. Like, you don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And if you ain't work, like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. They ain't worked for it. They ain't sacrificed for it. Every time it get tough, they go blow weed. They ain't working for it, right? They ain't got nothing sacrificed into it. But when a cat work for something, like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from them.
Like, we all know what the right thing is, but it's easy to adopt a take it easy mindset and then succumb to balance. But there's no one that I know that takes it easy or has balance and lives a lifestyle of freedom. There just simply isn't. Everyone that I know sets themselves up for higher expectations.
Dark side is something that's in everybody, but it's a situation that you have to control the dark side. If it controls you, that's when things start to go real bad. That's when you have a tendency to go to what I call the other side. But if you harness the fuel that's from that dark side, whether it's anger, whether it's fear, and turn that into positive fuel, it'll help you really succeed at whatever you're trying to do.
Never forget the people that played a part in you getting in this position. Never forget what you're made out of. But on the road to success, on the road to accomplishment, on the road to evolving and development, if the game of break goes against you in life, the only favor I ask of you, because in life, people don't burn out, people don't quit, and people don't underachieve because of what they do. People burn out, people quit, and people underachieve because life makes them forget why they do it. And so the only favor I ask of you, if the game of break of life go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam.